for words to live our purpose. I am strong. I am courageous. I am powerful. I am more powerful than the challenges I face. I am here to make a difference. I am unstoppable. I want to encourage you all to say that on a daily basis to yourself. Start saying, I am each day. You are? You are? You are?
Thank you, everybody, for hopping on this call, being on time. I know some of us were quite early, and early is the new on time. So that's something that I learned also from my mentor, is when you're on time, you're late. You have to be early, you have to be excited, you have to be ready to go. Have your tools in hand, have and just be yourself. My name is Ibrahim Qureshi. I'm the VP of Sales of New Era. But today I'm want to introduce a few people. But before I want to do that, I want to just share about this video, about believing yourself, about truly telling yourself. There's one thing I learned from another friend of mine. I have like so many mentors. Everybody that teaches me something becomes a mentor to me because they're teaching me something that I didn't know. I have a friend. He's really health conscious. He. I'm telling you, he is super health conscious. Makes his own everything. And one thing he told me, he's like, your body listens. You know how some people get sick and they're like, oh, I'm so sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. The body goes, yes, I am. But when you go, yeah, I feel a bit down. Maybe I should lie down. You have control over what you can manifest. You control that. I was sick over the last week, but I didn't get bad bound. I didn't just get into bed and I'm like, I'm sick, that's it. I'm gonna wait it out. I kept moving. My family was like, rest. Don't go on Zoom. Don't I'm like, no, because if I do that, then I'll get more sick. So seeing things, believing things, really focusing on things do manifest, right? So what we're talking about today is just about that. How do you do that? How do you channel that inner energy, that inner core, that inner belief of yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because the way of winning in this system, the first biggest step is believe. Believe in the system, believe in the people. But the biggest, utmost thing is believe in yourself. You're going to get pushed down. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get knocked down by people that you never expected will knock you down, right? But if you have the courage, if you have the right team, if you have the right people around you, surrounding you and giving you the right information, I'm telling you, the encouragement, the power of moving forward, the willingness will keep you going. And some people will take big steps, some people will take small steps. As long as you're moving forward, you're moving in the right direction. So it's not about the speed, but about how consistent you are. So I want to introduce two of these great ladies that have been working with us. This is our third or fourth series of this. We all know Mandy, we all know Kim. I'm gonna hand it to them because I want you guys listen to them over me because they're the one that are going to be providing this great information. Make good notes, stay focused on it, and whatever they're teaching you, they're showing you, or they're letting you know, do focus on it. Make notes, think about it. Sit down and say, you know what can I change? What is that first step I need to take? Because they're going to guide you through it. So, Kim, whenever you're ready, let me know. There you go. Yeah, and you can unmute yourself. I'll mute myself now.
Hi, everybody. Thank you again so much for the intro, and thank you all for coming today. A lot of this might seem like there are things that we're repeating or like, oh, we already heard that, and that's on purpose. So it's not like by accident, or it's not that we're not being organized. We're trying to transform. Like if you guys remember the first series that we did was basically shifting our mindset, right? And then we went into talking about laws of attraction, and then we talked about vision boards, and all these are very similar and they kind of intertwine, but we're trying to really train everybody on, and myself included, because sometimes you fall back into different things, right? Depending on who you hang around with, you start talking this way or you start to be negative again. And you're like, wait, I got to reset again. So it's a new year. This is a perfect time to do another training for our mindset. But this one is going to be on mastering manifestation. So again, we have probably a lot of people that have heard this. I've read many books that are based on this, and that is great. But we all need refreshers, and myself included. We encourage that you just stay a student, stay a sponge, so that you can just absorb things that people say, whether you relate to them or not, will differ. Because for me, for example, I always tell my husband things, right? And then I keep telling them, and then nothing really sticks. All of a sudden, somebody else, like, let's say we go to church and someone else says something to him and he's like, oh, so and so said this, and I'm like, oh, interesting, because I've been saying that for many years, but that's great. And then it came to a point where, like, wow, you don't listen to me, you listen to everybody else. But at the end, I was like, you know what? If you related more to that person, or if you received it better, so be it. I'm okay with it, as long as it's entering your brain or your heart and your soul. So it's like this, right? If you might relate to me, you might not like my way of speaking. You might like Mandy more. You might like the way Abraham talks. So that's why we have such a array of people that do these trainings, and for you to like go on to the people that you want to listen to, or you feel more relatable, or you actually feel like you're getting taught better. During like high school and stuff, there's different subjects that we take, right? And there's always like those certain teachers that you really listen to, and it's because you have that connection with them, or you can relate, or you feel like they care more. So this is just might be a review for some people, or this might be totally new. Like when I first started network marketing and I dipped into personal development, I was like, what is this? I was not raised in a family, or have a circle of people that taught me this, that like embedded this mindset into my life as I grew up. So everything was so new to me. So I was like, okay, I need to write everything down. This is what I do. And I became pretty much like indulged in it, because now it's like if I hear something negative, it just hurts my ears. Not to say I'm perfect. I'm always in progress. I'm always learning, and things are always happening around me. But it just feels different to hear that someone is, talking negative. Like it actually, it repels me, right? And so some of you might feel the same way, because I know there are some people on the call that are always surrounding themselves with really positive and forward thinking people, that they're normal. But some people don't even realize, like in toxic situations, like maybe there's some work environments that you have that you can't control, that you have to be around certain people. They're so negative that they don't even know they're negative. They think it's just normal, because you get lost in the sauce basically, and you're just like, oh yeah, let's complain about the government, let's complain about the weather, and like not do anything. And it's just like, so today we're gonna show you and share with you a few steps. Me and Mandy are gonna go back and forth, just to kind of keep it fresh and fun. And so feel free to write down whatever speaks to you as we go, and we continue this. So Mandy will go. There you go.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody had a great week. Thank you for joining us on this call. I feel like this is so important to bring into reality what it is, into your world. I'm not new to this, but I'm still learning. I've been in this space now for over 10, 15 years in MLM networking with people, and I have seen some amazing trainers. I have seen over the years, and I would leave the training all excited, and it's like, ready to change the world, ready to change myself. And then it didn't take long to get back into my regular routine, and nothing was changing, to be honest. And I didn't really understand what it meant to manifest, and what your thoughts and how you're carrying yourself, what you do day to day actually affects your life, in negative or positive. So when I started doing this actually a few years ago, and I still wasn't really paying too much attention. I think maybe the past 2 years, I have really indulged myself in like paying attention to my thoughts, what's like I'm saying, what kind of energy I have, and what's around me. So I feel like this training is going to be so amazing. Um, whether you're, new to this or you've been doing this for years, I feel like there's always something new to learn. So thank you again, and we will get started here. So the first one, clearly define your dreams. Know exactly what you want to manifest. Bringing thoughts and desires into your reality. Like, why are you here today? Why did you join New Era? The little things that you're doing, is it bringing you closer to what it is you want in life, or is it kind of pushing you away? And understanding the importance of the clarity when you are manifesting. When you're in the process, you could be thinking, like, I want $1 million, and then you're yourself doing your own thing. That's not really manifesting. You're really needing to sit down with your thoughts and just be in a calm environment, whether you do this for a couple of minutes a day or you do it before bed in the morning. It's a personal journey for everybody. Everyone does it in their own way, own technique, and you're going to find what you're comfortable with is what you're going to continue to do. So you have to find, sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's journaling, sometimes it's just being with your thoughts, but really understanding to just clear your mind and just feel it in your core, when you're going to get, when you're ready to start the manifestation for the day.
All right, and next one is set specific goals. So we had a whole training on this. It was recorded, so if you want to see that, you can contact one of us and we can try to get that to you as soon as possible. But basically, there's dreams and there's goals. So goals are like really more tangible, they're more doable in a manageable time. And so when you dream about something, it's more broader, it's more like a visionary of your life and what you want for it, right? So it's quite large. So sometimes it's always good to dream. Like, I am such a big dreamer. I encourage dreaming so much, even though it could sound ridiculous. But I think that it makes us like keeps us young, it keeps us alive, keeps us energetic, and keeps us positive, right? So the thing with that is breaking down those dreams so that you can actually get to it and not just like say, yeah, one day I'm going to be rich and I'm going to live in a mansion, like you're just throwing it out there. Like, have intention when you throw it out there. So there's got to be like a strategic plan with it. So the SMART goals, like what we talked about in the last couple weeks, is something that also relates to this manifestation.
Visualize success. Imagine yourself achieving your dreams in vivid detail. Um, Whatever you're thinking and visualizing, whatever you're wanting to bring to you, really sit there and visualize. See yourself there already. You know, by the time we are going to our summit in March, the convention, like, where do you want to be? Do you see yourself hitting like TC? Do you feel that you can actually achieve this and you see yourself there? You can make that happen. That is how strong your belief system and manifestation um, can work for you. Sometimes you think, oh, is this like, oh, this can't happen. It's not real. If that's like you visualize and you see yourself and that is what you fall back on, for sure, the universe does not know how to respond. It will not happen. If you're aligned with what it is you're wanting to do, it for sure will happen for you. But if you see yourself there, it definitely will happen. Now you're just going to think, how do I take these steps and how do I make this happen? And you want clarity. You don't want, um, you want to write down in detail what it is you're wanting for yourself. And because it's a personal journey, um, you just write down where you're wanting to go. You don't worry about the how. You don't worry about, oh, how am I going to reach this? How is this going to happen? It's just you're only concentrating on this is happening for you. And you will see things happening actually.
Yeah, I just want to add to that too. With visualizing, it's super important, and it's going to go into a little bit of what I'm going to talk about next. When you're like, for example, how Mandy was saying, if you're really thinking about it in detail and being clear, like if you wanted to go to Dubai and you're not sure how you're going to get there, and you're really visualizing that you're going to get to Dubai, and you're just imagining you giving the ticket to the ticket agent, and you're like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what I'm wearing to the airport. I'm going to get on that plane, and then we're going to go out and I'm going to see the sand dunes, or, those buildings and stuff. And to the point where you're really getting into it, that you get lost in it, that you don't even know if it was real or not. And so give yourself time to do that, because it's an exercise that you need to practice on. And sometimes people can just close their eyes and just do it, but sometimes you need like total silence. You need to put yourself in an isolated room, no distractions, turn off your phone and really do that. But a lot of people, like professionals, are very good at just closing their eyes, counting down to three, and just visualizing all these things so that it's actually happening. Or, making that sale, or, if you're a real estate agent, selling that house, giving those keys to that person. What do they look like? What are they wearing? What is their reaction? Like, you can get really deep into that. And all of these things that we do highlight, we're going to break them down into different trainings as well as we go. Of course, if you're on the call that Mandy did, she did a great job, and I really wish I was able to be there, but I was healing. I was healing. So the vision board, that's a part of it, of course. Manifesting that is a whole is ties into the visualizing that we talked about. So those images and those words that are popping up that you see constantly, just like sorry, thank you. If you were driving down the same street every day and you kept seeing a billboard, right? I think I mentioned this before on one of the calls, but when we talked about subconscious minds, like seeing that over and over again, it gets embedded in your mind. So if you look at your vision board all the time, every morning, you look up, okay, yeah, that's my goal. I'm going to hit platinum. 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 And you see it every morning, or when you pass by your vision board and you see it, that's like in your brain. You might not say it out loud at that point, but you're looking at it. So every little thing counts. So you really got to consider that and intentionally make your vision board. If you haven't done it yet for the year, I suggest that you do make time for that. Make an activity, get your team together, or if you have your family, if you have a big family, get your family together. There was an event that we went to before, me and Mandy, and there was like 500 people, and everybody had to bring 5 magazines. And then so you would go bring your 5 magazines, and they just put it all in a pile, and then they kind of mixed it all up. Then we all scattered. We had a board, scissors, glue, and then you grabbed whatever magazines and you started just scrolling through the magazines. And then whatever jumped out at you or whatever you liked, like that could speak and align with your goals and your dreams, you put it on the board. You cut it all out, and then you put it all together into this awesome visual board that you can look at. So you can do that as big as an event, which is actually a great opportunity to network with people that you haven't talked about. I used to actually run dream board workshops in the community, where I would rent a hall and then I would invite people to make dream boards, and then we did the same thing. And there was kids that did it, there were families that came together, there were people that are not in business that wanted to just do it for their personal life, people that want to start a business, and there was also business people. So it was really fun. People loved doing it because it was something that they didn't really do on their own, or they wouldn't have done on their own unless they went to a national event, or they've always wanted to do one. So I highly recommend, if you do want to do something like that, get your friends together or get some acquaintances together, get to know them more. And what's cool about that is that you get to see what other people are dreaming about, and you might have the same dreams as other people, and you can actually dream together and work towards the same goal, which is so cool, right? So you just never know what's going on in other people's minds.
Practice gratitude. Cultivate a thankful mindset to attract positivity. Starting your day off with maybe like a gratitude journal is going to be so powerful. In the world that we're living in right now, it's so easy to get caught up in, like Kim was saying earlier, what the government's doing, and this happened, that happened. And our energy starts to really shift from what it is we're wanting to do in our life. And we get caught up in these moments with people, complaining about healthcare and money and, things we do not have control over. If you can start writing down at the end of the day or in the morning what, works for you, yes, start writing down 3 things that you're so thankful for that happened to you that day. It could be somebody just smiled at you. It could be, your daughter or your son came and gave you a hug, anything, it doesn't measure to any, it's just like whatever made you feel good. So big or small, it does not matter. Starting to be thankful for what we do have is just going to bring more to you. Um, and then sharing that also, like, if you're walking by somebody, give them a smile. I feel like this world really is lacking connection and love. It's like people are so wrapped up in their own world that no one is even paying attention to who walked by them. And if something happened down the street or somebody fell and needed help, everybody is so caught up in what is happening to them in their own small little world that we're not paying attention to what's happening around us. And I feel if you start practicing gratitude, you're just gonna be, your vibe, your energy is just gonna be at a different level. And that is gonna bring you closer to what it is you're wanting to manifest in life. What they say, you do good, good will come to you. And just be mindful of that. You're buying groceries or you're waiting at the doctor's office, say hello and don't be reserved, smile at somebody. It can make their day, really. So, and this is something I've started. I didn't really start this like when I was thinking about starting it, and I just started recently, but I feel it really brings, if you're doing it at night, it really will calm you and you start seeing more good than you do the negative, which is where you want to be anyways in your mindset. So if you guys haven't started already, start a journal. Start just 3 things you could write down that you're thankful for. You don't have to write a huge paragraph or what happened in the day, anything positive, and then you can always refer back to it. It can be the same thing every day for the first week, and then things start changing, and you're going to see that when you look back, like, oh, wow, this happened, and now this is getting better. And, people are responding to you better, and people are more aware of you being around them and, more caring. And you see that, and you're going to see a lot more of that change around you for sure.
Yeah, that's such a good like concept in general, just to live your life as in gratitude all the time. Because when I was younger, I was privileged enough to go to the Philippines when like we were kids, and like kids, but like we understood more. We could see what we had and where we were living in Canada. And for us, it was like, oh, we didn't have that much. Our mom was a single mom. We lived downstairs all the time in a small place. We didn't have a big house or extra stuff. We didn't go out to eat and stuff. But when we would go to the Philippines, we would see that they would have even less, but yet they're like the happiest people, and they just carry out so much joy and peace. And you're just like, wow, they don't have all the toys that we have here or available or given to us. They're playing with like sticks and stones and spiders and nature, and they're enjoying it, and they're happy, and they're communicating with each other and just being kids. They're not like thinking about, oh, I don't have those nice shoes, or why don't I have that. They have what they have, and they're using that to their, like, they're using that to whatever they can bring it to, whether it's they could go look at it and be really down about it, or they could be really happy about what they have and be grateful. Like for me, I wake up every morning being grateful. I thank God that I was given another day, that there's breath in my lungs. Not a lot of people are able to do that, even in the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, we've, like, even in my circle of my community, we've had a couple of funerals already just before the new year hit, and we're just so lucky to have that opportunity to live another day, and be able to take advantage of the day and not just sit at home and do nothing, right? So just what Maddie said about just being the light, and sharing that light and gratitude with other people can go a long way. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can be achieved. So Napoleon Hill is known for writing Think and Grow Rich, which a lot of you probably have read already or have heard about. There's a lot of workshops around that because it's basically talking about manifestation. He is like, pretty much the whole book is talking about how anybody can become rich if they follow these steps. That's some of the steps that we're talking about. So I highly recommend to read that. And I really do believe that that is a strong tool to master. And so this whole training will kind of plant that seed in your brain to start thinking that way if you haven't already been thinking that.
Okay, affirmations. I know we've talked about this before, and this is so important, to do on a daily basis. So affirmations, repeat positive affirmations daily to reinforce your beliefs. Once you're doing this to yourself, you're going to feel more positive because you're just bringing more positivity into you. And it boosts your self-esteem. It promotes a more optimistic mindset because, if you're sharing where it is your vision, where you're wanting to go, it is so easy for people not to be supportive. And it's so easy for us because where we are at that time in our life or in our business, it's so much easier just to be like, oh yeah, they're right. What am I doing? I won't be able to achieve this, and then go back to your comfort zone. And that is not where you want to be if you want to be successful and live a positive, happy, whatever it is for you, kind of life. Um, Repeating these, no matter what kind of negative situation you're going through at that time, it could be at work, family, kids, spouse, it really is going to put you in a better mindset. Um, Overall, your mental well-being will be affected with the positivity that you are bringing into yourself. I find it really helps if you are even by yourself and you're saying them out loud to yourself over and over again. Sometimes you're in a situation and you can't be saying it really out loud, and you just repeat it to yourself quietly in your mind. And whatever it is, whatever resonates with you for that situation, always just have a few on hand that you can, always look at, and it brings you into a better mindset. That feeling that you get into your gut, like if you're really stressed and you just can't handle what's going on that day or whatever is happening, this will really help you get out of that funk. Over and over, it could be the same thing. It doesn't even have to change. Whatever makes you feel good and gives you that positive mindset, and you're feeling better once you're repeating them over and over again, use those for yourself. And there's so many you can, if you don't even know where to start, you can Google it. It's on affirmations. You can watch YouTube videos and see what really clicks with you, and just write them down and start repeating over and over again.
Yeah, that goes on to the next one, which is the positive mindset. So maintain optimism and focus on solutions rather than problems. So there's obviously a lot of problems that happen around the world in your daily activities, and you got to be really careful of how you react to that. And I think Ibrahim mentioned this too, but this is something that I really, during my journey of personal development, a speaker actually said this, and it really stuck with me, that we can only control how we react to the situation, right? We can't control the other person. We can't control the, that accident that happened or whatever it is, or something falling or whatever. There's certain things that we can't control or we could have prevented, but it already happened. So my husband always says you can't cry over spilled milk, right? Like, it happened. So what are you going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on will get bigger and bigger, right? So one time I was driving I was driving to a meeting, and I had two people in the back of my passenger seat and one in the front, and I was driving, and I can't even remember where we were, to be honest, but there was this big truck in front of us, and there was construction. All of a sudden the truck decided to reverse and back up into my car, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, when they always say that if you rear end someone, you're always at fault because you're too close. So I was like, oh my gosh, is that considered a rear end? But that person just like clearly backed up into me. And so I was like, okay, we just got out of like a training about positive mindset and looking for opportunities no matter whatever the situation was. And I'm like, okay, where's the opportunity in this? How can I control myself? Because, maybe a regular person could have really reacted in that situation, got out of the car, started screaming and yelling and being like, what? And started like getting into this argument. But me and my friends who I surrounded myself with had very positive mindsets as well. We're like, okay, let's step out of the car and let's just see what's going on in the car. So we went in the car. Is this little tiny girl who's like, she had her L, so she's like very new at driving, and she was like, I am so sorry. Like, I didn't even see you there. I just saw construction, and then I had to turn around, so I backed up, and she had a friend with him in the car, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like whatever you need, like I will take care of it. Like I can't get this, claim or whatever, because I think she had her L and then her dad was gonna kill her or whatever. And so I just calmed her down, and I'm like, okay, let's just take a look at that. So you know that this is your fault, and she knew it was her fault and whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And she was like so shocked. She was like, you're not mad? She's like, you guys like, and we're just talking to them, trying to figure out who they are and like, oh, where you guys come from? And like somebody had accents. We're like, oh, where are you from? And they're like, well, I just came back from Australia and this and that. And we're like, oh, okay. And so, as network marketers, you're always looking for opportunity to meet people. And so we just kept an open mindset and we exchanged numbers. And then it turns out that, her dad is a chiropractor, and then her brother was a professional disc frisbee player, like person, and she gave me this disc, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're so nice." She gave me her brother's disc thing. Like she was just so like grateful that we didn't ream her out and like totally, screwed over her driving record. Like honestly, we were fine. Like there's no whiplash. It wasn't that hard, but we just took that opportunity to be like, to examine everything and not lose, like, have a high blood pressure and make a situation worse than it already is. And so I think from that, it's just like it kept us and protected our peace as well, to not lose our mind about it, right? Because then you go home and you say, guess what happened? This jerk like did this and whatever, and oh, like, and then everyone's like mad for you, right? Because your friends and family want to support you, like, what? That's such an idiot. They're such an idiot, like da da da. So you got to really examine how you react to certain things. And I'm not saying like everybody needs to be doing that whenever they whatever, but just like step back for a second and just think like things happen all the time. Like, I have people like in my family or whatever that have road rage sometimes. And I'm like, okay, well, I sometimes mess up too. Sometimes I don't signal, like you have a rough day and I forgot to signal or I forgot to turn off the signal. So my husband will be like, oh, that person's just an idiot. And I'm like, well, I've done that too. So are you calling me idiot? Like I have to like be like, what if that was you? Or what if you're in a rush with, the baby and didn't think of that? And so it totally sets your mindset more positive, because you're like, yeah, you're right. Maybe they had a rough day, maybe they're whatever, instead of like cussing somebody out or yelling or arguing for no reason, because that just brings your aura just like in a negative zone right away and doesn't set your day up properly at all.
Take inspired action. Act on opportunities that align with your goals. Um, and take action now. And we're all, probably guilty of this, because in our mind, and we know what we want to do in our life or where we want to head and where we want to go. But, it's like the comfort zone is so hard to get out of. We go back to our old habits, our own schedule, what we're used to doing. And you know what they say? It's like whatever your goal is at the other end of fear, and it's at the other end of your comfort zone. So you got to look at your daily habits and what it is that we need to change. And I'm guilty of this myself. What it is that in your daily routine that you need to change to reach your goals, and how to do that. Clearly define your goals. Like if every day you're reaching out to, say, one person for New Era, today you're going to reach out to three. You're going to take that time out and you're going to get in touch with three people and share this business with them. And then know what you want to achieve, and don't overwhelm yourself where it's just going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to make $1 million next month. Like you really have to be realistic. And that way you're calm about it too, because it's like, you know what, if I did a little bit change here and I was mindful of my time and I was more productive instead of, watching Netflix or whatever it may be that you're doing, going out with friends for dinner. If you could use that time, you are going to align with your goals and you're going to feel better about yourself, because it's like you've taken action. You're moving in the right direction. And this is like short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, really, because you're wanting to do this for yourself, for your family, for your kids, for your parents, whatever it may be. And if we have our goals, like we were talking earlier about your vision board, have it somewhere where you can see it and you know why you're doing it. And then you're going to feel like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the time out today and I'm going to do this, regardless of the outcome of it. Like you might call 4 people that never answered, or you called one that said, oh, we're going to hop on a Zoom at this time. They don't hop on the Zoom. Things like that happen constantly. And we know that that will happen. But as long as you know that you are taking action towards what it is you're wanting to do, it will happen in time. And also, stay informed, know what's happening, in the community, like hop on the Zoom calls, hop on the trainings, they will help you reach your goals also faster than it is if you are, you decided to go out instead of hop on the Zoom call and learn something new that day. That will affect everything you're doing. And then we get back into that mindset of, oh, it's not going to happen for me and this is not working. If we're not working towards it, it's not going to work because we have to put the effort and, act upon what it is we're saying that we're going to do. So just be mindful of that. For sure. And then small steps, don't overwhelm yourself. Um, do something every day that you didn't do yesterday. So, and it will make a difference. Kim?
Right. Develop a plan. So outline the steps needed to reach your dream. So do you have a plan, or are you just going with the flow? Because there's some people that think that it might just come to them and you're manifesting it is fine, but there's still some work that needs to be done. So you got to meet it halfway, right? This is all like a puzzle. These are all puzzle pieces to a masterpiece puzzle that we have to do each step to really get to what we want. So if you don't know how to, or you never had a plan before, get help, get a mentor, contact one of your leaders or your team, and then make sure you have an action plan and that it is clear and that you can actually do the few steps within the day.
Persistence. This is so important. Also, be persistent, overcome setbacks with determination and resilience. Accept that things might not go as you planned, reflect upon it and, see what can be done to overcome that. And, when you need support, look for support, your upline, your downline, whoever, that you're needing to share, like whatever's happening with you and you need support in that sense, for sure, reach out and, share what's been going on, but be persistent because that is going to propel us to move forward instead of being stuck or going backwards even.
Surround yourself with positivity. Engage with supportive people and environments. So I mentioned this about your work environment. Sometimes you can't control that. But if you haven't heard this before, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with or who you surround yourself. So think about that. Who are the 5 people that you're always around? I know a lot of people and in different parts of my life and throughout as I was younger, I moved a lot of schools. I've been a part of many things. And so because of social media, I've been able to stay connected with them, but I don't hang around all of them all the time. I have my business with my sisters, so I hang out with them and, it's a family business. So my husband, my sister's husband, and we do a lot of things together because we're aligned and we agree with the same beliefs and we have the same core values and the things that we have as a grander scheme of things, our dreams are similar. And so I like to, I'm proud to surround myself with them. And of course, with Ibrahim and Mandy and the team, we're all forward thinking, we're all thinking the same end goal. And so if you are hanging around with people that are just bringing you down or being negative about the things that you're doing or telling you not to do that because it's just different to them and they're being negative about it, then you're going to start believing their beliefs, right? So you have to really step out, protect your peace, give yourself boundaries, and choose wisely on who you share your energy with and who you share your space with, because it makes a whole lot of a difference.
You are the Michelangelo of your own life. The David you are sculpting is you. This says it all. We are in charge of only us, nobody else. And you have the paintbrush, you paint your life and go towards your goals like nobody is watching. You do what you have to do because we are creating our own new selves. And just have your belief. Just believe in yourself and you go for it. Don't let anything hold you back.
That's right. Just feeding off what Mandy said, believe in yourself. And Ibrahim actually mentioned this too, right? If you don't believe in yourself, then why would anybody else believe in you, right? In this kind of business, people are trying to catch your vision. Like when Ibrahim talks about where New Era is going, I believe in him, and that's why I am locking arms with him And Mandy is so passionate about where this is going that I believe in her. And so if you're unsure and you're still kind of on the fence about things, then it's hard for people to look at you and want to follow you if you don't even believe in yourself, right? And you don't have that confidence or the trust. I understand there's a lot of factors that can come in, but you just have to figure out yourself and where you're at, so that people can lock arms with you as well.
Your values, and this is so important, align with your values. Ensure your goals reflect your core principles. Don't let other people push their values and goals onto you. And you're thinking, oh, maybe, this is better for me. You will know what you need to do. You know who aligns with you, what aligns with you, what does not. And if you're in your, you know where you're going and you're going with your values, you will for sure succeed in whatever it is you're wanting to do in life in general, not only in New Era, in anything. That is so important to know and reflect on what's important to you, like who means so much to you, why they mean that much to you, what your values are, and where you're headed with that. And you want to align with people that have the same values as you, or else it's going to be in conflict. And you don't want that when you're moving forward in life. So, be clear about what's so important to you and where you stand with your values.
So we're all different, right? We're all born different, in different childhoods, different families, different parenting styles. Sometimes single parent homes or strict parenting has affected us. And they always say that as you are an adult, whatever you end up doing naturally is kind of related to what happened to you as a child when you're like 5 or 6 years old, and within that childhood or school age, because that's when you're like a super sponge, and that's your beliefs, right? So you have limiting beliefs about yourself. So if nobody was like encouraging you and telling you positive things, feeding that to you as a child, then as an adult, you don't think that's normal to you, right? No one even like has ever said anything positive towards you. So you're just a negative Nancy all the time. You're just complaining about everything. You're just like thinking that everything is not good or there is no hope in the world, right? And so you can really tell with those people that have grown up in different types of households and how they are as an adult, that they were raised in, a positive environment or maybe not so positive, right? And of course, at the end of the day, everybody has control of their future and their present, where that they can look at their past and it might be negative and they can change that around, but it could also go the other way. So I just challenge people to just replace those negative thoughts and I put this Frozen. If you have kids, you know what this is, Frozen. So they're very, very known for their song, Let It Go. So you just got to let it go and just let it out. And whatever those things that are stopping you, you just got to release it now so that you can continue to grow and manifest what you need.
Stay patient. This is so important. Manifestation takes time. And so remain patient. Sometimes you think like, oh my God, I manifested this morning. Why is this not happening for me? And it doesn't always work that way, because your manifestation, sometimes we're saying the words, but you're not feeling it. And it is so important to feel what it is you're saying, feel it and believe it. And sometimes we're not aligned with that. Like we could be saying it and you think you're feeling it, but deep down you might be doubting yourself. You're second guessing what you're saying or what you're asking for. So be consistent and be patient, because it takes time. For some, it works faster than it will for others, just because they're more aligned with it. We're not all aligned. It's just like, oh my God, okay, like what if you're like, you know what, I want to own my own private jet and this is what you're trying to manifest, but you're not aligned with it. You're feeling your gut, your belief system really deep down is telling you, oh, I don't think that's going to happen. That's what you're working towards. That's why all these affirmations, all the positivity that you got to bring towards you, it's going to take time, and you will start aligning with it and you're going to see it happen.
Yeah. We talk about manifestation a lot. I know a lot of people here have different beliefs, like spiritual beliefs. Like for me, my manifestation will come in prayer, and I'll talk to God all the time. And, if it's meant for me, like he knows the plans that he has for me. And I just trust that. I just put all my trust in him, and I always say it's on God's time. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. If it's not, then there's probably something that he's protecting me from too. So don't always get mad about what Maddie was saying about not, getting what you want like now, when you thought that you really had it and stuff. There's always a reason for it. Embrace a healthy lifestyle. So take care of your physical and mental well-being. That's like a huge part of it. This might be super foreign for people because they grew up in a house like my culture, Filipinos, we like to eat. We like to eat meat and rice, and we enjoy the food very much. And vegetables are actually quite expensive. And so as I was a kid, vegetables was not introduced to me a lot. Only as an adult where I realized and learned more about health, where I needed those. I needed to take those supplements because I'm not getting it from my food. There's just so much education and well-being that comes with taking care of your health. And as a new year comes, of course, everybody always has health goals and stuff. And this year I'm really determined to, after having a baby, and my mindset from my health was in working out, I just got really in a fog of like, hey, I don't have time, I'm too busy, I can't do this. So I need to really transform my mindset on that and be like, no, I can do this. There's a lot of people that do it, and I just need to dedicate some time. I don't have to have a six pack or anything, but I need to be healthy, because if I'm not healthy, I can't take care of my baby. I can't support, my husband when he's doing what he needs to do. And so mentally is a huge part. I need to take care of that, because it's like the gas mask, right? On the airplane, when the gas mask drops, they always tell you put your gas mask on first before your child, even though in your head you're like, no, I want to save my child, right? But then if you don't save yourself, then you might not even be able to help your child, or for example, another person. So you got to take care of yourself so that you can take care of everybody else.
Stay open-minded, be receptive to unexpected opportunities, and pass. Sometimes we're so tunnel visioned in where we're going and how we're going to do it, that we're not open or really even looking around to see that there might be a better way, there might be a quicker way, there might be, just certain things that we don't learn because we are so concentrated on where we're going and how we're going to get there. And it's okay to change your path. Like, you might think, I'm going to make phone calls, I'm going to, get in touch with my family and friends and say, like an example, talk about New Era to them. But, sometimes they're not open to that. What about doing cold market? What about going on social media and putting yourself out there? So it's so important to stay open-minded and to learn new things and how we can achieve our goals, because you can maybe get there faster and quicker to reach your goals. So always staying open-minded, just learning new things is so important overall anyways. Um, so, just pay attention to what's coming at you. Sometimes we're not even paying attention to what's going on around us. When you're on these calls, you might meet people that are, have a better way and can show us and teach us, and just be mindful of that for sure.
Yeah. Managing stress, it's a huge one, because like, who's not stressed, right? Like, even the most peaceful, happiest person, I'm sure, has some sort of stress, but the difference between them and the regular person is how they handle it, right? So, it's super important to have tools that you can just lean on. And for me, I'm always like praying. If it's a stressful situation, I need to pray. I need strength from God. I need to like I can't figure this out on my own. And sometimes people don't like to accept help from other people, because whether it is pride or they're embarrassed to ask for help. But even like, asking a friend to just hear them out for a situation that happened and try to help them understand how to do this, or make a plan and write down the things you need to do to avoid that stress, or just to maintain it, even because it is a stressful world. I mean, if you're living in different parts of the country and you're on this call, you might have different stressful situations than the other person. So I'll just speak from where I am from. In Vancouver, it's, high cost of living, high cost of grocery, high cost of breathing. Everything is going up, right? And so, I see my husband go to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning, comes home at like 7 at night, has like only a little bit of time with us and the baby. And it's just like, what is that? What kind of life is that we live, that we think that that's normal, that everybody is just doing that as well, right? Like, so it does stress me out to feel like, okay, I need to work harder, because obviously, this situation for my family is not ideal. It's not a part of my dreams. It's not a part of my goals. And so we need to change something, because I would love it to have, mind you, he's been off, like we've been, at home for like 2 years. Like, he hasn't been working for years, and we've been doing business and stuff. But it's just something where you think like, okay, how can we just manage the stress that we have, and how can we react to it, and always look for, again, that what we mentioned before is always looking for the solutions instead of just complaining about it and being negative.
This is such an important one. Network and connect, build relationships that may contribute to your success. Strengthening relationships. This is so important because, sometimes things don't go the way you plan. It could be family members, it could be friends, it could be coworkers. And, being mindful of, even though things don't go the way you want and things may happen, it is so important to keep close relationships. It could be in business or not, it does not matter. That's how you build your network, that's how you find connections, and we all need that in this world that we're in right now. Having good relationships is so important. When you're feeling down, you need that somebody to help you get back up. When you're feeling, if you're sick or you're going through a rough patch, you want somebody there on the other end to listen to you. And you could be venting, it could be a number of things. But don't just think if this person at that time, like say, as an example, didn't join the business with you and you're going to be cutting off ties. First is, relationships are so much more important than only your business or whatever it is you're working towards. So honor that and appreciate who you have, and then go out there and build, a huger network, connect with different people. It will bring so much value to your life.
Mhm. Yep. And we mentioned this, always be a student, be a sponge. I mean, there's a lot of successful people out there, even in our company on the corporate team. I know Salman is constantly being a sponge and learning from the things that he's hearing from different people, because we have different perspectives on things. We have had different experiences. So always be open to be a student and learning and acquire like the knowledge and the skills that you need, and always just be open.
Monitor your progress. Regularly assess your achievements and adjust your plan if needed. Go over it. It doesn't have to be on a scale of what we're looking at to hit, to be, an RD, a TC, anything that we're looking at. If you reached out to 4 people today and yesterday you only reached out to 1, that's progress. You achieved what you had set out to do. So regularly go over what you are doing and, monitor that. And that is an achievement. So never be down on what it is you're moving forward in life in general, and if you're not for some reason reaching that goal, then you adjust it. Maybe, that week something had come up for work and you had projects that you had to have done and it just wasn't happening. That week it wasn't going to happen. That day it wasn't going to happen. So you just adjust and you move forward.
Yep. And you be adaptable and embrace change and be open to adjusting your approach. So I had a training, the first training, I believe it was old school versus new school of how to build your business. And so people like me and Mandy we're not really like adaptable right away to like technology and all that. I'm a lot more into it now and over the past year or so. But before I was like, I'm so old school, like writing down things. I don't even use a Google Calendar. I just write my agenda and calendar. But it's time for change and you need to embrace it because things are happening. If you don't change, then things are going to happen without you.
Celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge and appreciate your successes, no matter how big or small, it does not matter. Always, appreciate, acknowledge what you are doing, because you are doing something different and you are getting out of your comfort zone. And yes, realizing that sometimes you need to step back and say, wow, I did it. I do have it in me. I can do that. Always celebrate the small wins.
Yeah. And share your dreams with people. Share them with your friends, your family. Like make sure that they see you and that they see you serious about this, right? And you're not just like fluffing around or just like, wasting time, that you are committed to your dreams and that you saying it actually makes it more real because there's so much power in the tongue and whatever you speak can come into existence, right? So it's a super, super important thing to share. And if you haven't shared that and you're a little shy, then get out of your comfort zone and share those things. Even though you might think that someone's going to laugh at it or say it's stupid or whatever, you have to prepare yourself for that because that's the real world.
And start today. Let's all on this call commit. We are going to start today. We're going to start bettering our mindset. We're going to start bettering the world. Together, we can make a difference. By yourself, maybe not so much. But if we start today, each of us, we can definitely make a difference. So, let's be mindful and let's start today.
And that's the end of it. So I hope you guys got a few nuggets from that. We're gonna just you guys can take a quick break if you need to, but let's say like in a minute, we're gonna come back and do a power hour. Like Maddie mentioned in the previous call, we got a lot of feedback saying that they want a power hour, and this power hour, we're gonna have a little bit of guidance on what to do, but it's gonna be a working, productive hour, and basically it's accountability. Because for me, for example, I get really busy, like my baby's sick right now, and there's like things, emotions, I'm doing other things for business and stuff, but I need to make more time for certain things, especially with New Era. So this helps me keep myself accountable. And I know that Mandy is gonna, help me do that, and whoever else is on the call. And sometimes for you, you might think, you get on the training, you're inspired, and then you go back to your own life, and you're like, okay, no one's here to like encourage me to do anything, so I'm just not gonna do anything. So if you want to stay on the call, you're more than welcome to. We invite you to do that. And we can talk in the chat. It'll be more casual. If you have questions that you want to go over, hopefully we can get that support to you. Even
raising your hand, we could unmute you and guide you. This is going to be more of an interactive session. So it's not going to be just sitting here listening. We're going to be talking. We're going to have conversations. So if you guys want to take a bathroom break, go get coffee, get something to snack on, and get your pen and paper, whatever needs to be done, we'll wait a few minutes. I'm just going to maybe run a video in the back end, or if you guys have the video. And then in the next, say, 3 to 4 minutes, we'll get started, or even sooner.
And also for people that maybe have never done a power hour, if you're going to stay on with us, just come back in about 3-4 minutes. We'll go over what this exactly means, and then we will start working together, and obviously individually. So if for people that don't even know what that is, just stay on the call and take a break, get some water, and we will go over that before we get started on that also.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Is there a video we can play for people that are Abraham, maybe?
Yeah, my birthday party.
There you go.
I have something I'm setting up.
Boy, it's easy to say, hey, I haven't really thought about that. So now make this note. In 5 years, here's the probability. You will either arrive at a well-designed destination or an undesigned destination. Well-designed or undesigned. And I promise you, 5 years from now, you really don't want to arrive at an undesigned destination. Because you may very well wind up wearing what you don't want to wear, driving what you don't want to drive, living where you don't want to live, maybe doing what you don't want to do. Simply because you didn't design a better destination. Neglect starts as an infection. And if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. And one neglect leads to another. And the worst of all, when neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. You say, well, how can I get back my self-respect? I'm telling you, you don't have to go to 29 classes. All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that now corresponds to your own philosophy, like I should, and I could, and I will. No longer will I let neglect stack up on me so that I will have the sorry scenario 6 years from now, giving some excuse instead of celebrating my progress. That's the key to discipline. Okay? Self-reliance is basically counting on yourself, taking responsibility for whatever happens to you, knowing that you have consciously made the decisions that are now affecting you, knowing that what is happening now, today, is the direct result of your activity, what you did yesterday. Now, being self-reliant doesn't mean you can't work with others or trust others. Self-reliance means counting on yourself, trusting yourself. being confident with yourself, being responsible to yourself, trusting your own instincts, trusting the conclusions that you have developed from your study of experiences and philosophies, taking the credit that is due you, learning from the mistakes that you have made, being self-reliant. Self-confidence also comes from the ability to rise above your circumstances.
You know, one of the quotations that I sent out, it said that, you know, you might have been born in a society or in a community or in a family that might not be wealthy, that might not be stable. But if you die in that situation, then it's completely your fault. You know, it's so much easier to complain and point fingers than it is to accept the fact that I did I give my 100%. So once Kim and Mandy get back, they did a real great job. You know, we're gonna get started about the Power Hour. Power Hour is something that I learned also back in 2015, and it really did change me. You know, when I got started back in 2015, there was so much learning that needed to be done. There was so much information that needed to be processed. So you know, with time, I kept on learning. First, it was giving half hour of my time, then an hour of my time. Now my whole day goes like this, you know, looking at different things, learning from different people, and really, you know, making decisions by calculating what the outcome could be. And sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes people get into your life for a reason. I shared this on a large call. There's a thing in our language. I'm from Pakistan, in our belief called nasib. Nasib generally means is something was destined to be given to somebody, but because they were part of your life, a piece of that was cut out to you also. Sometimes you get things given to you or things that would come into your life because it was meant for somebody else, but because you were at the right time at the right place, that you got that good vibe. So Kim, Mandy, if you guys are ready, we'll get started.
Yes, thank you. Mandy, are you there? So I want to see if people have social media here, if you are more on Facebook or Instagram. So if you can put on the chat, if you're more on Facebook or Instagram, just type in Instagram. Sorry, if you're more on Facebook, type Facebook. If you're more on Instagram, type Instagram, or if there's another social media that you use, just please type that in the chat. I just want to see, because there is about 24 people here, so I would like to talk to the majority, but then also we can do a few things on both. Okay, I got 2 Facebook so far. I myself personally is more on Instagram, but I can do Facebook as well, because some people might do both. Instagram, okay. And just in case, I don't know if I don't think I have many people on my Facebook, but I'm just gonna put my Facebook, and then you guys can add me. And then Mandy's is Mandy Reyes, just her name. Please add us so that we can connect as well. Facebook, okay. Okay, that's actually, I kind of imagined that Facebook was more predominant here. So one of the things I was gonna say is that when I talked about the old school, new school training, is for people that are network marketing, we like to message like people, right? We like to message people, and nowadays people are getting so many messages about all these businesses, and they're kind of doing it where it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. So of course you see a message from someone you haven't talked to in like 20 years, right? And they're like, "Hi, how are you?" And you're like, what do they want, right? And then you're hesitating if you're gonna reply to them. That's kind of like what they're thinking when you do that to them. So we want to just make sure we're aligning and we're being genuine when we are. Of course, we all care about people, but when people know that they are being approached or about to be pitched, they feel like, oh, you just want me to show this. So you do have to spend some time to get to know who you're talking to. And so before we actually start to do this power hour, I was going to suggest for one action that we can do right now is to post something on your social media, either a selfie or a picture of you that you're doing something or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. And please don't take too much time on this because we're going to put a timer. So we're going to ask you in 30 seconds, just post a picture of you or make a selfie and just put, I don't know who, you can put Happy New Year or some, if you haven't put Happy New Year on your page, right? Just say Happy New Year. Just want to say hi and see how many people actually see my posts and post that and then see how many people will engage with you. Because when people are contacting you or commenting on your Facebook page, it's more genuine when you can continue conversations and connections with them as well. So does everybody understand the assignment? I can see some cameras, so I don't know if everybody understands that. So I'm going to put a timer on here. I'm going to do this as well. So 30 seconds. Okay, I'll give you a minute because it might take long, right? Let's do the first task is 1 minute. So you're gonna post a picture or a selfie and just say hi, Happy New Year. I just want to see how many people actually see this post. And then let's let that stick on there for a while and then we'll continue with the next things we're gonna talk about. Matt, do you have any questions?
No, that was good. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, we're gonna start the 1 minute right now. Okay, that was a really fast minute, but I still need more time. I'm gonna put my timer on again, another minute. Maddie, did you do it? You did it already?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so another minute. Okay. Do we still need more time?
I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else need more time? I'm just gonna be looking at the chat and looking at the people that have. I'm looking at Kathy. I'm looking at Charlotte because they're the only ones that have their cameras on. And then,
I do not know how to use Facebook, so I will have my daughter teach me.
okay, but do you have a Facebook account?
Yeah, I've got it all up. I just don't ever use it.
Oh, okay, well then this is gonna be a really good tool for you to start learning how to use. That's really
Yeah,
oh,
I don't, I've avoided Facebook because they track all your contacts, but I'm
oh,
going to have to get over that.
yeah, it is tough because there's a lot of things online and stuff that it's hard for us to control and just don't put any of your private information out there too much. But
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
honestly, I think they have it all anyways, either way, because I'll be talking to somebody and my phone will pick up so many things and I open my phone, I have all these ads about,
yeah,
exactly what I talked about. So it's really hard to
yeah.
get around, unfortunately.
When I have a private conversation, I actually turn my phone off
Oh, wow, that's really good.
because it does, like you said, it tracks everything. So I've
Yeah.
had it talk to me in the middle of the night. So I guess I sleep talk.
See, it's hard to get away. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny. Uh,
Anyway,
okay, so we'll leave that hanging. As you know, in social media, like you post something and then you can look back on it later. People might like it, people might comment on something. I ended up putting a picture of me and my daughter and I put Happy New Year, send us some love because we were under the weather and stuff. So you can put anything where somebody might want to engage or like your posts. But people do want to see you. I know some people are shy with their pictures or shy in front of the camera. I can be like that too. But that was putting that post. I haven't posted a picture of myself in a long time actually on Facebook. And so that helped me put myself out of my comfort zone too. So the accountability of like, okay, just do it, put a timer on it. And don't think about all the things like, oh, my hair looks bad there, or like my lips look dry. I wasn't wearing lipstick, or because those are the thoughts that I had to battle with myself. And I just did it. So let's see. We just want to throw out the net, and then let's see what we can catch. The next thing would be so Kathy's so that in future when you start to learn more about Facebook, on your contacts, it'll actually accumulate all the birthdays that are happening, like today or yesterday, today, and then whose birthday is coming up. So you can actually go through your list of contacts and just greet people happy birthday. And that's just a initial contact that you can, be sincere about and greet someone happy birthday, but send them a message that's not really the same as everybody else so that it doesn't get lost. You can cater to be like, I haven't talked to you in a long time, saw that was your birthday. I Some people like to do voice notes because it's more personable. Or it's whatever, honestly, whatever you feel like is your style, then do it and then just put a little bit of effort into the message. So like I'll go on my Facebook right now and let me just see whose birthdays. You can go on your notifications and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 people that have birthdays today. And then more than 10 people that recently had a birthday. So, when you talk about connecting with somebody, like you can call it like your first touch of engagement because you might have not talked to these people in so long and it's kind of weird for them to be like, hi, how are you? So birthdays are always nice and easy to say happy birthday because they know it's their birthday, they know they're going to get greetings. So why not start from there? Because you can also say to somebody, say happy birthday, it's been a long time, hope you're doing well, and then let that person connect with you, and then it's most likely you're going to get in a conversation of what have you been up to, what are you doing, and then that's when you can have a natural and authentic conversation about, I'm just, I was working and I'm just realizing I need to start my business, so I am starting a new business, or I'm doing different investments, or I'm learning new things because New Era is about education. You can always talk about, I'm actually learning more about making money online. I'm taking these courses, anything that kind of speak into those realms of what we like to call piquing people's interest and just giving a little bit so that they can be curious about it. Not necessarily giving them the whole spiel like right there. Like, oh, I'm doing this business and this is how much you can make and you can put this much money and people are like, whoa, like that sounds like too much. Unless there's always like an exception. If you have someone that you're super close with, they know that you're always business minded and always looking for opportunities and always talking to them. So that's like me and Mandy's relationship. Like we're close enough that if Mandy's like calls me and she said, I need to talk to you about something, I know exactly what she's gonna do and I know exactly what I'm ready for. So I have to like be ready for that. I'm like, okay, I'll call you because anything that Mandy looks at, that it will be worth my time because I have that relationship with her. But that will not work with everybody else, right? So why don't we spend some time on greeting some of the birthday people, celebrants, and just customize your greeting to that person. And should we do 3 minutes and then do a check-in on how many people they were able to either message or comment on their page? Because when you start commenting on the way social media works, when you start commenting on people and you like their posts, they actually see your posts as well a lot more. So you're kind of aligning yourself with their posts. And once you start, we're gonna try to get everybody to get used to posting about things in their lifestyle so that there's an interest and people are liking what you post. So pretty much you are gonna be your business. You're building your own brand. And we'll get into this more as we start to do more social media training. So I'm going to put a timer on for 3 minutes. And so just go through your happy birthday list and start greeting and start spreading your light. And I'm going to mute. Oh, begin. Just checking in. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds. How are you doing, everybody? I was able to message 5 people. I'm gonna keep going. Maddie, how are you doing?
I just finished messaging 4 people, and there's just a few more.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. How's everybody else doing?
Thanks for liking my post. Where's your post? Maddie.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
I'm trying to find a photo still.
just do a photo of you and the girls too, or something. I'm gonna open up the chat for anybody that is still on and doing some work. Is there anything that you guys need help with in terms of some questions that we can just answer on here? Because we do want to make this a productive call, but I'm not sure how many people are actually doing the task because we don't see people's, not everybody is have their camera on. There was somebody on the call earlier and I didn't see it until later. I think his name was Lucky. Lucky's iPhone. Is he still on here? He was asking for, or he or she was asking for a presentation, a business presentation. So I think for the leaders that invite people to this call, the Friday calls are more mindset training. It's more for people that are in the business so that we can grow. If you do invite someone that is not in the business, it would be telling them that it's not that this is not a presentation, but it is something that we do in the culture that we have in our company where we do mindset trainings for people. Right, Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, and so hopefully the person that invited Lucky was able to um contact the person. Okay, I see another person on camera. You guys can unmute yourselves too, the ones that are engaging right now. Kathy, you can unmute. if you want, we can just have a conversation here because I think I'm not sure if people are honestly doing maybe they're and if people are just here for accountability and making sure that they're doing their own thing, that is totally fine too. Charlotte, how about you? How are you doing?
I didn't have anyone that had a birthday today.
Really?
No,
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
I don't get to see your post either.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a photo. I posted and then I deleted. So I'm like, oh, I want to put a photo.
Let's see, hold on.
I saw yours, Charlotte.
I know I saw that you answered it.
Yeah, that's another thing that we should all add each other on social media so that we can support each other's posts. Like whenever that person posts, we should always, like it and comment because that will help that person's engagement.
Kimberly?
Yes, hi. Oh,
Yeah.
Henry, hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't have anybody on my list who's got a birthday today. They're like later in the month. Is it wise to wait till their birthday, or could you go ahead and in advance sort of wish them a happy birthday? What's sort of
How far and like how much
well,
later?
it's at least 10 days.
I would wait a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Early is not bad, but I think too early is yeah, probably not. Because the people that do it earlier, they're gonna be the first messages that they see, right? So if it's a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good time. Just be like, hey, advance happy birthday. You're probably gonna get a lot of messages. So I want to
Yeah.
make sure it stands out and you can, kind of
Okay.
charm yourself in that conversation. So then if there's no birthdays on this day, another task could be um thinking about like 5 or 10 people that you would love to do business with, that you want to connect with, but you're not sure how. I like to call it like getting intel from that person. So go on their Facebook and see what they've posted recently. On each post, you'll see if they posted something today or an hour ago or 2 weeks ago. If they didn't post something in a month, that means they're probably not as active on Facebook. So they might not see your message if you actually message them, which is you can try, but don't be sad that they didn't reply because they probably just are not on Facebook all the time. Not everybody is like on Facebook every day. But if you see that they're posting, they're active, then you kind of see what's happening with their lives before you comment on their, or approach them, because there's times where people are going through so much turmoil and stress. And then if you just message them out of nowhere and say, hi, I want to show you something that making money or whatever, they might get really turned off because they're going through some family, personal stuff or, a funeral or whatever. It's always safe to say, and this is all true. This is not you're not lying or being fake about it. You're being genuine because you were thinking about them. You can just message them and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I just want to, just want to say hi. Because even with that simple, that gesture can brighten someone's day, or that, people, like Manny said, this world we're living in is we're so not connected. People are not talking to each other, even though there is social media. Not a lot of people are engaging, in deep conversations, or people think they just don't care about them, right? And so just saying that you were thinking of them, or that cross their name crossed your mind, is something that makes them feel good, right? And people don't care what you have to say unless they know that you care about them. And so once you can build that relationship with that person again, and that, and have that that skill of really like showing that you care and being genuine about it, then people will open up more and trust more. I'm just reading this first task is going well. I already have 16. All right. 16 engagement. I wrote 12 days into 2024. I just want to know how everyone is doing so far. The second task, I only had 2 people with birthdays today, and the rest belated birthdays. Okay. But honestly, belated birthdays are funny, right? So if you can have fun with it, doesn't all have to be serious business. It could just be, if you're belated, you can say, hey, I know I'm late, but better late than never. happy belated birthday. I hope you had a good one. Like there's no problem with that. It's just like when Henry asked about early is a little bit, it could be a little bit too off, but belated, when people message me happy birthday like within the month, I'm always telling them I accept happy birthdays for the whole month and it's fine.
Yeah.
So who is that? I am Reshock. I don't know who's that. Yeah, it'd be nice. I know some people don't have like their actual names on here too. I don't want to pronounce any names wrong. Like this one.
Yeah, so my name is my name is Risho Ketsui. I'm from South Africa. So
Oh,
in short, I just say Rishoks.
Reshocks.
But my
Okay,
full yes.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you shy to put your camera on or are you
No.
busy? Just so we can see, like, put a name to a face. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Thanks for doing the task as well. That's really good.
Yeah.
16 engagements. So yeah, when people see your post, because I don't know if people understand too, not everybody, like my dad, he'll call me and say, "Did you see my post?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "Really? You didn't see it?" I'm like, "Dad, I have like 5,000 friends. I don't think I see all 5,000 people's posts, right?" He doesn't understand that
Yeah.
that's not the whole point of it. So people think that, oh, how come that person never liked my post? But it's because the algorithm and the internet, they work in ways, right? So you have to engage and like people's posts and comment on people so that they can see that, oh, you're supporting my post, well, I want to see what you're posting too, right? And so you're kind of throwing that bait out there so that people can come to you and see like, oh, like this person has been so nice and kind, let me see what they're posting about, right? And all of a sudden they go on Reshock's Facebook and it's all businessy. Like she's a businesswoman. She's in South Africa building her
Yeah.
network. And it's like, wow, she looks so happy all the time and she's so positive. Let me see what she's doing. That's how people build relationships online. And so they start to follow you, they want to follow your journey, and they might not ask you like what business you're doing that day, or like they want to know you right away, but in every sales statistics, usually, oh, it's like echoing, usually it takes up to 7 times for someone to actually say yes, right? So like
Yeah. Oh,
imagine
what
like,
what I usually do and what I've learned from actually 2021 when I learned about the Facebook algorithm,
yeah,
I basically mix my posts. I don't just post business.
yes,
I am for joking around.
yeah,
So I'll be joking and they come. When you joke, I'll get like 80 likes and everything.
yeah,
And then I'll get a reel and then I'll post business.
yeah,
I get those small engagements, but then I do get people come then and ask on my inbox. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a journey.
No, that's perfect. And you're really just being yourself, right? You're a funny person, you probably have a great sense of humor, and so you're attracting those people because I think nowadays people just they want to laugh, they want to cry, and they
Yeah.
want to have these feelings of like that they don't always feel. So I know people react a lot when I post my daughter, when I post me and my husband, like people react to that right away. Or even just a positive quote, or a funny joke or something, like people react to that. And so even though they don't like your post, they're still seeing it. So the job
Yeah, and
is for you to
when you post that you post your daughter and your husband, I think people also want to know you.
yeah,
Don't just say new era, but who is Rishox? What
yeah,
what is Rishox's life? Like posting my family once in a while, the activities that I like, such things just keep the following coming. So currently I'm sitting on 13K followers.
wow,
Um, so I just want to just build those personal now relationships because some people just follow.
yes,
So I this birthday things like connecting more on a
yeah,
personal scale is going to help.
yeah, exactly. And then I mean, like it adds up, right? Like when people comment on yours, you reply to them so that they know that you're actually there to talk back to
Yeah.
them, right? people like that. People enjoy like being able to connect with the person. So that's really good. Yeah. So we should probably have you on some of the trainings too when we do our social media stuff. Are you what's your Facebook account so I can add you?
It's just type Reshoks, it will come up, but it will show as Shoki, Shoki.
S can't find it.
Just type Reshoks Riba, RIBA.
Okay. RIPA.
B for Bravo. R-I
Oh, B.
B for Bravo, yes. A.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna follow you.
All right, I'll follow back.
Awesome. Yeah, my Facebook is more like family and friends and just that overall. I don't spend too much time on Facebook, but
Yeah.
be
Okay.
looking at I'm gonna be looking at your page and stuff to get some inspiration. It's really good.
Yeah, no, I try. The thing is with me, you know what I'm struggling with. In South Africa, we just went through a phase of having to be part of companies that were not good,
Yeah,
right? So in that process, your name gets tarnished.
right.
So yeah, I'm just in a process of just rebuilding my brand so
Yeah.
that people can see. So that is why when I heard about New Era, and I was like, you know what, this is a company whereby I can actually rebuild my brand, because we've been part of companies whereby people lost a lot of money.
Yes.
And, you know, so I'm just in that process of just coming back and, yeah,
Yeah.
rebuilding my brand.
I also, yeah, I think me and Maddie can speak for that too. Like there's been companies that have come and they've gone and stuff. So a lot of people have put their money in things and but New Era is different for sure because I mean for us, we have Ibrahim here hand in hand and we have like the offices that are building. So obviously that we have a little bit of an advantage, but because we can connect and then you can use us as credibility when you plug your people in, that we can say that we are in communication. And I don't know if you ever travel or anything like that here, you could travel, but I mean that might be like a more of a, are you able to travel?
Yeah,
Have you come to
2020.
Canada?
Last year I traveled internationally once. I went to Dubai in July, and then the rest of the travels were just local.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, yeah, we can talk more about that too and how we can help you build that credibility so that people can see, oh, okay, like you're in contact with the corporate team and, the vice president with Ibrahim, and we can talk more about that. Okay, that's great. It was so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you so much. Hey, who's that? Your daughter? Or I can't see. Oh,
I do. Say hi.
hello. Oh, I like your bow. I have lots of bows like that. Me and my daughter always wear the bows.
This one, she loves things. She's the girly girl.
Oh, thank you. I'm so fast. Well, one of my dreams on my vision board is to go to South Africa. So we'll definitely yeah, I will definitely keep in touch. I'm excited for that.
We'll plan an event out there one day.
Yeah, we'll plan an event out there. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes, we would love to host you.
Wonderful, thank you. No, at corporate, we would love to travel and do this, because what we're doing is really connecting, building people, developing people, and supporting people. When I got introduced, as I said, to the business, I was in business, but never was in business kind of deal. Never knew what a true business was, and I know this industry is so different. My dad, I've been doing it for so long, and he still doesn't understand what I do. All he sees me is in front of a computer talking to people. And like, how do you make money? I'm like, Dad, that is the way you make money. You just teach people how to make money. So I'm glad that, Kim and Mandy took charge of this, and, they're doing this for us and helping us out, supporting us. And I'm gonna be straightforward. Uh, in new era, even from corporate to all the people that are doing, majority of this extra work that we're doing is voluntarily. None of us are getting paid. We did not get paid for the last 2 hours just to sit here. We are doing this voluntarily. And as when you volunteer, it really shows how much you care, because it takes that encouragement, that passion to kind of take that time out and do it. So I hope everybody's enjoying, and so far what you have heard and what is happening. Do give us feedback, because feedback is what allows us to bring changes, allow us to really improve ourselves in it. Because it's always better to hear from somebody that's from looking from outside inward than for somebody that's already inside. So anything positive, negative, it doesn't really matter. We just want to hear it and we want to know. So I appreciate people that are interacting with us right now on this call, and I'll let Kim continue.
Yeah, no, it's this is what this business is about, is like, making relationships and getting to know each other and our families and our goals and what skills we have that we can share. And even if we're not, directly connected on, on the team or making money from this person or that team or whatever it is, like I was always in a company where we just helped each other. It doesn't matter where you are on the in the back office. It's like we're all one. And if we can, like, maybe I have somebody in South Africa that, Rishas can help me, connect with, and then she has somebody in Canada that I can help her build her team. We're still under one company, and we still want to have a good reputation and represent well. So we're one family. So we don't want to create anything where we're dividing people, like, oh, don't go on the webinar, they're gonna steal you. We're not gonna steal people. You should be able to trust the people that are in your team and that are presenting, that they're not going to try to steal the person because they want them on their team or whatever. Like we want to start off clean, and we're not going to do any of that. So yeah, again, thank you so much, Rishak, and we'll definitely reach out, because then we can probably work on some things together and try to help the team. And does your team come on some of the training sometimes?
Yes, they do, but I'm checking tonight. It's not much.
Yeah.
I don't see. No,
Okay.
tonight they are not here.
Yeah,
Or
because
maybe they're not sure.
I forgot that it's like nighttime there. It's like
And
more.
then it's Friday.
Yeah, that's all right.
South African people and Fridays. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay. Okay, no, that's good to know, because we do have to cater to people's different cultures and the customs and things that happen, right? Like, yeah, I totally get it. Okay, cool. I think Kathy, did you have any questions, or Charlotte?
Nope, nope, fine.
Now, okay. Yeah, me and Mandy and Ibrahim will talk again, because this is our first time we're doing this like productive power hour. And so maybe we'll tweak some things a bit. I know maybe people that are on the call right now just are staying on the call to like listen and just learn. And then but I would love to get really productive if people want to like really get into it, and then that we can just like power hour and really hammer down things and make a list of things. And then Rishas, I'm gonna message you on the side too, and just see like, yeah, just pick your brain. And yeah, we're always about learning and just connecting with other people with different skills and stuff. I think we're gonna end it off now, unless Ibrahim and Mandy do.
No, I think that went really, really well. So, I mean, for our next call, if anybody has any questions about it, or we can, have some input, that would be great. So we can change it up and see what works for people. That would be really
Oh,
good.
Henry, are you still on the call? Sorry, Mandy.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I saw your message later on, and do you want to share that now?
Yeah, sure, if you like.
Okay, he had message about he had a, yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
You can.
yes.
Well,
Sure.
I want to tie together two things. One, an opening comments by Ibrahim. He was talking about being early, and then you were talking about essentially having a vision, visualizing what's happening and what you want to happen. And many years ago, I worked with a high-tech computer software company. I was literally flying on a plane every other day. I covered all the entire West Coast down to California. And I was selling financial software, actual financial planning software. And what I got in the habit of doing is arriving 15 minutes early to an appointment. I might be meeting the vice president of finance at, say, Hughes Aircraft, for example. And I'd sit in my car in the parking lot, and I would just close my eyes and literally visualize the entire activity that was going to take place. I mean, literally getting on my car, walking in the front door, greeting the receptionist, being escorted to the boardroom, meeting the vice president. And I visualize it as shall we say, as precisely or as much, detail as possible. And working through the whole thing, doing the presentation, getting the kind of questions I was expecting, answering those questions, and then closing the sale. And so when it came time to actually get out of my car and go through this, it's like I'd already written the play. I'd already written what was going to happen. And so I want to mention that you can use this on a daily basis. For example, if you're calling a prospect or doing a follow-up call, before you make that call, visualize exactly what you want to happen. Visualize them responding, or visualize them asking questions, being prepared for their questions, and moving forward. And then visualize you asking for the sale. Visualize actually saying, well, how do you want to get started? At what level of membership do you want to get started? And then you'd be amazed how effective that is. And in my case, that one year, I remember at the end of the year, the president came out to Vancouver and we got talking and so forth. And he said, well, do you know the numbers? And I said, well, I don't know them. I know my numbers. And he said, yeah. I'm actually very concerned about the amount of sales we had done this past year in this particular product. And he said, we did about 1.2 million, and you did more than the combined total of the other 3 sales reps selling this product. You were up at about $750,000 in the sales. And he then proceeded to actually tell me he wanted me to come back to head office and head up marketing, which I eventually did. But that one little technique I found to be very effective, and you can apply it in so many times. It's not just visualizing your goals and seeing you in a new house or something like that. You can apply it to individual business activities during the day. So you keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. That reminds me of like the visualizing when the basketball players were all visualizing them shooting the ball in net, practicing that they were able to get more shots in because of that visualization. Thank you for sharing. Henry, you have such a great voice. You should do a podcast. Or
I don't know.
voiceover.
I'm very much old school. My son set up my Facebook account many years ago, and I just haven't gotten into it. I'm learning to use this social media, but for me, it's more talking individually to people and just following up with texts and things like that. But I've got a lot to learn in terms of social media marketing for sure.
Yeah. No, we all do.
We'll do it
Mhm.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay,
The other
awesome.
comment I wouldn't, if we have time, one other comment. You were also talking about how you respond to in a certain situation. And I remember when I was 21 years of age, I was in graduate school, and a particular situation arose, and this individual I was consulting with or seeking advice loaned me a book by by a gentleman, Viktor Frankl, who wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he talked about his experience, and he was captured by the Nazis and put in concentration camps, and he literally saw his entire family die in the camps. And he walked out of that to developing a technique called logotherapy. And what he recognizes that the Nazis could never ever take away his God-given ability to choose how he's going to respond in any situation. And he cited an example of one prisoner taking a small crust of bread, literally, which he needed desperately himself, but breaking it in half and giving half of it to another prisoner. And he noted that that man chose to respond in that situation in that fashion, in a very compassionate way. So, when you get a rejection or when you get someone gets angry or whatever, you always have the opportunity or the ability to choose how you're going to respond in any situation. I mean, any situation. And so I always felt it's